he was really gracious and gave me and Doyle and all the soloists a lot of room to play and roam. And you know, when you're improvising and when you're soloing, naturally the band follows the soloist. So it was, but you know, he was very generous that way. He gave me a lot of time and room to play. Where I wasn't expecting that when I joined the band, but it was nice. But yeah, you know, it was end of the day, we knew whose band it was. I mean, you know, it was like when I joined the Allman Brothers, it was you're playing music that you grew up listening to, and it, you know, it inspired you from a very young age. So getting to play those songs, you know, with Eric, it was a great experience. It was almost surreal, you know. I think the first time we played Little Wing on that tour was here in Tokyo. That was a great moment. And with someone like Duane or even Hendrix, when you think about these guys that passed away so young, I think it's impossible to know what they would have become. You know, you never know how great they would have been. Because I think Duane was 24 when he passed away, so it's pretty astounding the level that he got to it in such a short time period. But you know, I think you know, it's so different. It's when you're playing music that was written and created so many years ago. It's so different playing it now. You know, it really is it's a different beast. I think it's important to take all those influences and all those experiences and try to create something current, you know, immediate, and you know, you obviously tap into those beginnings and those things, but you know, playing with the Allman Brothers and Clapton, you realize it's their legacies and their music, and it's an honor to be a part of it. But it really does spark you to want to kind of forge your own path and go your own way. But you know, I think with music, it's not sports. There's no better. It's different. I mean, there's certain guys that create a genre, and you can never get better than the creation of it. So you have to find your own niche and your own thing. You know, for me, it really depends on. I mean, it can be music from anywhere. It's just a certain feeling certain musics have. You know, pretty much traditional and folk music from anywhere I really enjoy, because you just feel the emotion and the humanity in it. You feel people singing their troubles or singing their joys, and I think all great music has that common thread. You know, I think there's a reason that blues and music that came out of this one specific place and one specific time has traveled the whole globe, and you can go anywhere. There's blues festivals everywhere in the world, but it was a very short time, you know. And I think anytime people really tap into what they're feeling and they just let it out, that I'm a fan of that wherever it comes from. So, you know, it can be Indian classical music, it can be African music, it can be any traditional music, and you know, any musician that really plugs into the source. I think that's what we're all trying to do. And you know, I think the more angles you hear of that, the more different things you hear, you kind of get to the essence of it a little bit more, and I think it helps you find what you're looking for. And I think it's the fact that you can emulate the human voice with it. You know, I think it's a really emotional instrument, you know, much like the violin is, or when you hear a great singer. I think that was always the attraction. Originally it was Duane and Elmore, and they played with so much fire and urgency that's what struck me. But later on, I think I realized that it was the fact that you can get so much emotion out of the instrument. You can you know, there's notes between the notes. There's a lot of subtlety and mystery to the instrument too. If you hear something and you're inspired to play a certain way, you'll pick up the slide. Other nights you want to play it straight. I really think it's you know, you go from night to night, song to song. Sometimes if you play 3 or 4 songs in the set in a row without playing straight, a song that you would normally play slide on, you might just put it away just for a change of pace. But you know, with a lot of the music we play and a lot of music that has improvisation in it, it's kind of your personal taste of what you're feeling at any moment. So there's no rules to it. It really is what you're feeling at any given moment. You know, I've been playing with it so long. Originally, it was I love the sound of the Les Paul and the humbucking pickups, all the Gibson sound. But when I was 9 years old, you know, you're small and I didn't weigh much, and the Les Paul is a heavy guitar, so the SG was like the perfect fit. You know, it was the sound I wanted, and the weight was right. And then just after playing it for so many years, it's kind of second nature. You know, I think you really get to a different point when the instrument is, you don't even notice it. You know, it's just so comfortable in your hands. So that's what it is. It really is a comfort thing. It's knowing your instrument and being able to get out any ideas without thinking about it too much. And a lot of times when I play other guitars, I'm kind of feeling around. I'm trying to get comfortable with it. So the SG is just second nature. There's a few players that I get a chance to play with often that I'm a big fan of and always learn from. And one is a guy named Jimmy Herring. He's just a great player. I've known him for many years. And another guy is his name is Jack Pearson. He lives in Nashville. Just beautiful players. There's a lot of guys though. Eric Clapton, who plays with a band called Soul Live. I like his playing a lot. There's a lap steel player, a young guy named Roosevelt Collier. He plays with a band called the Lee Boys, and I really enjoy his playing. Bill Frisell. There's thousands of them. It's almost like more of my practicing is listening and trying to get new ideas, and I think I probably spend more time doing that than actually practicing. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I don't recommend it, but like, you know, some guys practice scales, some guys practice things, but for me it's just you're looking for melodies. You know, you'll find a mode and you'll. So you know, I find that when I'm practicing, a lot of times you're almost trying to write song. And there's some guys that are constantly trying to find new patterns by playing it. For me, it's most of the practice is internal and not external. So you kind of pre-hear things and you know what you want to play, and the physical part of doing it is not the hard part. It's keeping the fire and the inspiration there. So I think after a certain amount of time of doing something, the physical part becomes second nature to you. So to me, the biggest thing to do is just to keep doing it. You just have to keep plugging away, keep playing, you know. And then every once in a while you'll hit these stages where what you once had to work at is just second nature. You don't even think twice about it. So, you know, it's for me, the instrument itself, I love the sound of the instrument. I love the guitar, but I'm really more interested in you know, what somebody says with it. I mean, I think whether you take the great guitarists like Dwayne or Clapton or Hendrix but for me it's the same when I hear a great horn player or a great singer. It's people expressing themselves, you know. And I think if that's the sound and that's the instrument you want to play, then great. But I think it's important to at some point look past the instrument and really get to the heart of it, the core of it. You know, I think with a lot of great artists, they could have picked almost any instrument and they would have got it out one way or the other. You see someone like Jaco Pastorius, a great bass player. He could have easily been an electric guitar player. Like he plays it that way. And so there's some horn players I hear where it almost sounds like a guitar to me, you know. So I really think I think it's just the vehicle to get out whatever you have to say, whatever you're trying to say.